Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Roswell, New Mexico, Season 1, Episode 8, Barely Breathing. And I am loving this show so much, I'm really excited to watch another episode and to hopefully start figuring out what is wrong with Isabel, because we need to get that figured out. So yeah, let's go.
Especially when you grow up loved.
We're going to learn more about their past. Oh, he's been investigating them. I hate this. I need him to die.
When the evil you fear is inside your own mind.
We're gonna figure this out. I mean, it was inevitable that Jesse Maines, I had to look up his name, is going to figure out who they were, but it's happened quite early on in the show. Claudia Black! Farscape!
Wonderful, of course.
Not wonderful then.
Joan, why would you do that?
He was speeding.
We know his family.
Why did you only adopt 2 children out of 3, hey? I really don't like her. I'm sure there's a reason though.
Can we talk about the cactus?
I got this for your new office. I would have come by sooner, but I've got an alien on an involuntary cycle.
I just need one day.
Now and in 2008.
She killed Rosa.
Hey.
Take care of you.
I just still feel so badly for him, and I still don't remember his name, which makes me feel even worse.
Things have never been. Let me talk to the doctor.
I feel like
Okay.
Jesse Maines could cause a problem here, especially if he tries to talk to him and tells him. Because if he hears not from Isabel.
Rosa was my.
Of course, he hasn't told her, has he? He should tell her that now. She's told him everything. Okay, that would actually crush her, so maybe don't tell her.
I mean, it could do a lot worse.
Yeah,
too.
it could kill them.
Know how much of their
because you haven't been able to
functions
test it.
discharge. So
When they were excavating, doing the autopsy on the alien they had, it looked quite significant, the glowy thing, so... Why did you tell him about it? Because he could use it.
We could talk about the family legacy.
Wants to find out about what he found.
And aliens.
Because living in this town, if you found anything alien related, you would definitely figure it out.
Tried to be polite.
Okay, Alex, I mean, not to say that wasn't deserved, but kind of extreme.
Who knows?
Just know it.
That's all she cares about then, who knows?
Is safe.
So do they adopt 2 children to make their shiny little life perfect? I'm being so bitter, I'm sorry.
As if you'd been observing, waiting to learn the entire language
Pretty much.
before uttering a single word.
I still need to know why they didn't take Michael too.
Why?
I don't know.
She knows
It's been on
something.
my...
The other boy in the home had taken a red marker and had drawn this all over the walls.
Is that Michael or someone
That
else?
poor boy. He needed special attention. A wealthy family that could give him everything he needed.
So was that Michael or was she talking about somebody different? And also she looks like a wealthy enough person. Is Isabel or Blackout Isabel? Oh my goodness. I told you he was gonna use it!
Bring it by the bar. I'm not giving you my number.
I don't want.
Like if they became friends.
We were a little terror at the group home drawing it all over the walls after we were found, so it's gotta have some connection to us, right? Maybe it was something we saw somewhere.
Or was it someone else? Is there another? I've been theorising there's another alien. Was there another child?
Or maybe whoever put us in those pods doesn't want us to remember.
It would drive you crazy not knowing. Oh, it's about having the injection. Is it affecting all of them somehow?
Hold.
Or is he just sensing Isabel?
We gotta go. We gotta go.
I was really liking Kyle until he injected her with that stuff.
No, Liz, I just did it. I shouldn't have. It goes completely against my code.
yeah, Dr.
Was he controlled as well then?
Manner. She jumped into your brain and she convinced
Oh.
you this is the right thing to do.
Oh, it was Isabel! I'm sorry, Kyle. I forgive you. I feel really bad now. I was like judging Kyle and it wasn't even him. I mean, Alex is going for it here, getting the answers.
Find out what you've been doing.
I'm scared about this because he's going to hear about aliens from his dad, which is going to be a very negative outlook on them.
I want to be able to look at my own hands without wanting to chop them off. You don't know what this is
It's a
like.
very complex
I
situation.
can't trust my own mind.
I'm trying to get you to take off your shirt, but it's not working.
Oh, she was trying to use her powers.
I think the serum worked.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael. It's what she needed right now. And I don't know that it's going to work forever. Or even stop the blackouts, because that's probably something unrelated.
No, you are not making this comparison to me right now. She murdered my sister.
I get where he's coming from, but then the danger that Isabel poses is very real.
If anything, happens to Isabel. Because your serum left her vulnerable.
So is
You're
it a
gonna be
case of
getting revenge on the wrong
biologically?
person.
Yeah. Is it a case of biologically Max and Isabella are related? Biologically Michael isn't related to them, and somehow they could tell that when they were kids, so that's why he wasn't adopted with them? This is definitely, she's too complacent that it's all worked out. Oh dear.
Baby,
Call Liz right now.
Blood sample, but suddenly something has
Mm-hmm. Call for help, you're in a hospital.
Isabel will be dead by the end of the day.
Okay, well, we're fixing this, okay? So let's get to work.
you have to stop.
I'm gonna try again.
Oh God.
Actually learned a lot these last few weeks.
You can create the antidote.
I mean, you can try.
There's not enough time.
You have to try. Well, he's going to see about his theory on the Evans and Garen, because they've not got the same surname. He's going to find out about Michael.
I'm trying to protect you, son.
You've never cared about protecting him,
Was
fuck
Kyle
off.
Valenti in the know?
I don't have the same obligation to keep him safe.
What are you talking about, Dad? When I was 17, I wanted to make music. You sent me to war. You are not trying to protect me.
Nope. You can die
You think that I
now.
would compromise your mission?
But not literally right now,
Because
because that
you
might
think
make him a bit
I'm weak?
traumatised.
Because I'm gay.
Oh, Alex. I find this very unnerving, and he's going to... I'm so stressed when he's going to see the file on Michael. Oh.
I'm trying to protect you.
Oh, it's all fine, okay? He's not going to be impressed.
Here for Isabel.
I am working on it.
I mean, that's probably a good way to
I've also
think.
got all
if
the
that's-
creative juice in you. What kind of alien science do you have up your sleeve?
Nothing I can trust you with.
I am trying
It
to
would help Isabel.
Max may not see you.
I get why he doesn't want to
but I
trust
do.
her, but it would help
Probably
Isabel.
manipulated him. Hell, I'm not even sure I blame you. But I can't trust you.
Just being honest.
I'm gonna go. I can't let Max watch her die alone.
I can't let him watch her die at all.
Look, if you want to help Isabel, I think you have to trust Liz. I mean, I love Liz. We can trust Liz. But, you know, I get why he doesn't want to.
I mean, that hole doesn't look like the kind of place you'd hide the secrets of the universe.
No. And that's the point. Got it.
You didn't leave town of your own volition.
Good, he's going to hear
After Rosa
everything.
died, Max was a wreck. He couldn't watch you grieve. He was gonna break.
I'm actually kind of surprised he's telling
He was
her,
gonna
but I
tell you
like
the
that
truth,
he is.
and we couldn't let him.
But
So
this
Isabel got
is
inside your head.
going to make her slightly less desirable.
Convinced you
Probably
to
is
leave
not,
town.
but... Because that's another crushing blow that...
gonna tell me the truth.
Mate, she deserves to know this. Maybe after she helped Isabel.
It was real
It
messed
will
up.
make her a bit
Why are
more
you telling me
distracted.
this?
Cause I'm tired of all the lies.
I love Michael a lot.
Just influence them.
But he told you the truth, that they pushed you to go sooner than you maybe would have done otherwise.
The two of us working together, we can figure out.
I like this team up.
Come on, Bobby.
But you need to leave now because
Did someone call you?
there's some stuff going
It's
on.
fine. She doesn't need to.
What? You never let me be a mother.
What are you talking about? You and Dad were great parents.
Isabel desperately wanted to see you just now, but you can't because they're trying to save her.
Is it her liver? You should talk to Max.
Yes.
I can't disclose if kin.
I mean, it's
How do
medically
you treat her?
true, but is he going to overhear something? Does he already know something? What's going to happen? Okay, that's 7 years bad luck. That's not going to help anyone on this show.
You know what I did?
You weren't you.
Trying to frame Michael. Haven't you done enough?
Oh, because yeah, you would probably think it was that.
Because you're blinded by your perversions.
Ugh.
He's been
Can he
targeted
die
for
already?
a decade. He's the enemy of his kind because we spent 70 years trying to protect humanity from their
They have
assault.
no idea about you.
He's using you. Unprovoked violence against innocent.
Do not talk to me about unprovoked violence. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Silver.
He secretly wells too.
For leaving Michael and I alone on this stupid planet. All day. To slip away without taking anyone else with you. You failed. You failed. You failed.
She's gonna be alright, Max, okay?
I got good news. Well, I got news that's... it's not bad. We can... but
I want to live.
It's gonna be fine, we're gonna do this. Is she gonna come out with no memories again? Like, does the pod type in memories? I really don't like this.
I'll expose you. You'll be dishonorably discharged.
I'm feeling very anxious right now. Because I don't feel like he's a good person to have, you know, if you force him into a corner, he's gonna do something scary.
We will not stop until we find a way to save her.
Last time we came out of those pods, we lost our memories of home. What if she comes out, she doesn't remember us?
we'll remind her.
Yep.
Of everything. Promise?
Promise.
Promise.
Are you ready?
Are you?
Don't ask me that.
Oh god. This is gonna be good. I definitely think telling her that Max was going to tell the truth 10 years ago would actually be the thing that saves the potential of their relationship. Because after the last episode I was kind of thinking there was no chance for them.
Missing her will hurt less if you aren't angry.
She knows that from experience.
I'm glad she made me leave town, Max. We weren't meant to be together.
It's how she feels now, but knowing what she knows, it opens the path for forgiveness and healing. The symbol.
I need you to be my eyes and ears while I'm gone. Should you see any, you're gonna provide me with some intel on my son. And don't forget, I can have your sister transferred back to maximum security.
Hopefully his plane crashes, but he's the only one that dies. Everyone else just, you know, gets injured.
Like a beacon. Cheesy like that.
Jerk.
A beacon.
He needs his mum.
Yes?
Right now he needs his mum. It's all gonna be okay. I mean, it's all gonna get much worse, I imagine, but it's all gonna be okay. Well, that's a very cheerful way to end the episode. Thank you, Roswell, New Mexico. Okay, so we're still no further in solving the mystery of what causes the blackouts with Isabel and what's going on there. But we are, you know, I feel really guilty now because I really like Kyle, and you know, as much as I think, you know, if this show was set 10 years ago, I would really dislike Kyle. He has had a lot of character growth as a person, you know. That kind of high school, secondary school bully type person does two things. They either grow up and look back on their behaviour and think, oh my goodness, how could I have acted like that? Or they grow up and they look back on their behaviour and they're like, oh, I was the best, I was the cool kid in school, I'm so wonderful now, and they continue to be like that. I'm glad that Kyle is one of the first options, you know, he has grown a lot as a person. But when I thought he had just, I mean, the minute they showed him the thing, I was like, oh, Kyle might, you know, get angry and inject her with it. And then when he did it, I really wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly, but I was immediately like, oh, I guess Kyle did do that. Whereas if it had been any other character, I'd have been like, that's very unusual, but for him, I feel bad now, because I was like, maybe he did just do it. And of course he didn't just do it. But that helped me reaffirm that I like Kyle. By the end of the episode, I was like, yep, Kyle is a good guy. But yeah, Isabel being back in the pod, that was a lot. That scene was really emotive, and kind of, they have no idea how long that's going to be. I mean, I'd like to think it's not going to be too long, because I like Isabel, and I like her relationship with Max and with Michael, and she needs to deal with her relationship with her husband either way. But yeah, I think that it's kind of putting on hold the problem of her blackouts, but there's a lot of other stuff that's going to cause problems. And I liked we got a little bit more of an insight into their family and their background, in that we saw some of those pictures from Mains's horrible collection on them all, but we saw them, you know, we saw their mother, and we kind of got an impression of the sort of life they had with her. And, you know, I find the fact that she said at the group home there was that other little boy and he kept drawing that symbol, and oh god, he needed help, I hope he got it. Now she knows about Michael, she knows who Michael is, she knows Michael's their brother surely, because, you know, for their birthdays they took turns choosing on their activity, and, you know, they'd have had to say, oh mum, we're going to go camping with Michael. You know, as much as they didn't raise Michael, they would have been very much aware of who Michael was. So surely she would have said your brother or Michael rather than just that little boy. So I'm thinking there is another alien out there, and that maybe there was a fourth child pod somewhere that for some reason didn't make the news. I don't know, maybe just a random family adopted him, who knows, or he just grew up, but of course he ended up in the group. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know that would be the case, but, you know, I think if it was Michael, then that was a very weird choice of words to call him that boy, because she'd know about Michael and she'd know that he didn't get adopted and she'd know everything about him because he is a brother to her kids, surely. And yeah, I'm still very conflicted over understanding why they only adopted 2. Now I know a lot, like that is actually a thing that is a problem to an extent in the foster care adoption systems, is that people don't want large families necessarily, they just want to adopt 1 or 2 children, and so if you have a family of more than that they might pick. And you know, I feel like there was more to that story of why they didn't take Michael too, but I need to know why they didn't take Michael too, if that makes sense. I need to kind of understand it, because it makes me really dislike their mum and their dad, because to me splitting up siblings it's unforgivable. Families should stay together unless there is no other choice. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by that, and I would love to know more about that and understand more about that, especially knowing that Michael didn't have a wonderful life. You know, if he'd been raised by a loving family that kept 3 of them together, you'd think, okay, I can kind of forgive that, but that didn't happen. So yeah, I do want to know more about that, and maybe if their mother sticks around, and I love Claudia Back, so I'm all for her sticking around. Yeah, if she sticks around, maybe we'll learn more about that. But yeah, I don't know how long this Isabel being in rehab storyline's gonna, or story they've got is gonna work, because at some point you can visit rehab, and rehab has days where family and friends are supposed to come and see them, so if she's going to take years in this pod, people are going to get suspicious, but for now that works as a cover story. So yeah, that was a really, just kind of seeing how, I love episodes like that in the sense that you really just see how much these characters love each other, and you know, seeing how Max was just falling apart because he's got, now the fact that he's got the psychic connection, so he and Isabel are twins and Michael's their brother, is that how they're doing it? So are they not actually technically related? I want to know all the ins and outs, just because I don't remember who they are isn't an excuse. So yeah, it was also good to hear them talking a little bit more about the fact that they had no memories, and to find out that it makes logical sense, but that they didn't speak any languages and they slowly picked it all up and all that kind of thing is very interesting to learn. And we knew Michael was looking into it. We didn't quite know the full extent of his research into the alien stuff, but we've seen now that, you know, he's doing a lot of alien research, and it's very fascinating. And yes, we got to see Michael caring about Isabel, how much Max cares about Isabel, and their little family is a lot to me. And I think Liz, I love Liz, like, don't get me wrong, I have no harm towards her at all. I think because I can understand why they covered up Rose's death, and I don't blame Isabel, because it wasn't Isabel, it was her blackouts, and obviously from the point of view of Michael and Max, there's a danger. I mean, they should have been more aware of the fact that if she had more blackouts she could have killed more people earlier on. They're lucky that it took 10 years, etc. So I don't blame them for what they did, but I see why Liz would struggle with it. But I think she's getting to a better place with that, because there's a lot more to it than just simply them covering up a murder. Isabel didn't do it in cold blood, it wasn't even Isabel really, and they're aliens and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very intrigued with how that's going to go. And again, Kyle, you know, he almost said to Liz, she was my sister. Now he's only just found out she was his sister. Now obviously look, that changes how you feel looking back on things, but I think he needs to have that talk with Liz at some point, because he has this information and he's withholding it from her, and it will destroy her worldview, but she needs to know it. And yeah, I'm scared for that happening, because Liz has had enough revelations to do her a lifetime. And I loved that Michael told her the truth, that it was Isabel that sent her away, because that could have had Liz get even angrier at Isabel and had her be like, oh, I'm never going to help her with the cure, now she can die. But obviously, as you know, we found out this episode, I'd kind of misunderstood Isabel's powers, that she can't completely control your mind, she can just influence you, and you kind of have to already want to do the things she's influencing you to do, or she has to be really strong. So Liz was planning to leave. I don't know that she'd have left before the funeral. Maybe once her sister died, graduation wouldn't have been quite as important, but I don't know that she would have left before the funeral, although I suppose she was feeling a lot of anger towards her, wasn't she, because, you know, she felt like it was her sister's fault, and I think she did helpfully carry a lot of that blame towards Rosa, in the same way that she said to Max, you know, forgive Isabel, because missing her's a lot easier if you're not also angry. So I get that maybe she did want to leave anyway, but I think it would be, like I said, with all these revelations happening, I was kind of thinking, like, the way this show is set up, Max and Liz are endgame, but I didn't know how they could be with all the kind of stuff they're going through. But the fact that I think she can come to understand that they had to cover it up, and also the fact that he wanted to tell her, I think is really important, and is the thing that will save their relationship as a prospect in the future, something that can happen. And I imagine there'll be developments in that front this season, but I wouldn't mind if it took a bit longer than that, because I think they need to get to that place where it's good and it's healthy and they both feel happy with it. Then the other main thing in this episode was Alex. I'm very stressed. I hate his dad so much. I need him to die. He can die in Nigeria, right? I'm really glad that Alex is quite stable on that front, in the sense that, like, he just hates his dad, which is never a nice feeling, but he just knows that he hasn't done anything wrong, and he knows that, like, that is a very healthy approach to have towards someone like his father. But the fact that we knew he found out about aliens, and you're living in Roswell, if you find an alien artifact, you're gonna be like, oh, aliens. Whereas, like, living where I live, if I found a weird glowy artifact, I probably wouldn't instantly think aliens, because there is no history that I'm aware of aliens crashing here. But, you know, so I think him finding that out and already knowing that there was some stuff, and his dad was a bit weird, and him doing this chat, I was very stressed for him in the bunker. And then the minute he said about Michael, I mean, he doesn't believe his dad right now, but once you've got that idea in your head, you're going to start noticing the signs, he's going to start figuring it out. And the fact that Michael's not going to be the one to tell him, and if he reads his dad's files, that's going to be that these are murderous, evil aliens. And, you know, his dad's saying that he was just using you to get to our family. Now, the aliens have no idea that anyone is doing their secret, and they have no clue about the Maines family's and the Valentis family's long history. Kyle has not told anyone, as another thing. But, you know, they are not doing that. But you could see that if he takes that too much to heart, especially with the tumultuous relationship they have had, where they both deeply care about each other, but neither of them are very good at saying that to each other, that I'm worried that there's going to be some angst coming up. And where that storyline is going to go this season. But yeah, I don't trust that Sergeant Jesse Maines is gone for good. I do think we'll be stuck seeing him again. And I really don't like that. I keep wanting to call her Freya. I cannot remember her name. Is it Cameron? Like, that's her surname, isn't it? Jenna Cameron, was that her name? That's come to me out of nowhere. I hope that is her name. Max's partner on the force. I don't like that she's a spy for him, and I don't like that she's now also going to be spying on Alex, and I need her to reach a point where she just tells them the truth. And I know that it would be bad for her sister, and I get that, kind of like we've been having a lot of this protection of sisters being the core of the show. I get why she's doing what she's doing, but if it reaches the point where she's hurting people, I think she's a good person, and I hope that she's going to tell them what's happening, and they can be aware of what's coming, because I don't trust him at all. So yeah, this was another brilliant episode. I'm very excited to keep watching more of this show. Thank you for watching.